B.LEAGUE action coming your way once again as we have KOSHIGAYA ALPHAS hosting Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to our KOSHIGAYA City Gym as we've got a great game in front of us. Both these squads need to be able to get out of the rut that they're in terms of the team standings. KOSHIGAYA at the moment is at 3-11. On the other hand, Nagoya Fighting Eagles at 4-10. It's still early in the season. All teams play 60 games, and so they know that they can still turn things around, but they'd like to be able to start right here, right now. Pretty good sized crowd here supporting the Alphas. And it's nice to have B.LEAGUE action back after a 2-week break because of the FIBA international window. Let's take a look at the team standings. As you can see, the Alphas at 7th spot in the Eastern Conference, and in 8th and last spot are the Fighting Eagles with a 4-10 card. Actually, just 8 games behind the leaders. They can start to turn things around, but they need to continue to start winning. Well, for both these squads, as we take a look at the comparative team standings, they can move up. And it's going to start for one of them here. The number is pretty close. But if you put that into comparison with the leaders here in the B.LEAGUE, that'll be in the bottom of the standings as well. So they need to be able to improve in all facets if they want to be able to start to climb up in the team standings. Sean O'Mara there on your left, enjoying the action. That's Olujobi there right beside him. As we take a look at the officials handling proceedings here today, our 3 referees. We've got referee Kubo, referee Ishiki, and referee Toyota. Our officials have done an exceptional job here, not just this season, but in all the years that we've been covering the B.LEAGUE. We now have the lineup here for Coach Taizo Kawabe. Olujobi, of course, is one of their imports. They will be relying a lot also on Narito Namizato, as some of the Japanese fans call him Fantasista. There is no Isaac Butts, who was part of their starting lineup, so he was replaced there by Olujobi. As we now have the starting 5. Olujobi, we talked about Namizato. They also have number 8, Ryo Sadohara, one of the more versatile men that you can find here in the B.LEAGUE. They also have number 11, Aaron Henry. And then rounding out their starting 5 is number 23. That's Ryuto Yasuoka. That's for the visiting squad. Let's see Fantasista in action. He can break down the defender. He can also shoot from the outside, such as that one. And he likes to set up his teammates as well. On the break, he's lethal. Asking for a foul there. As you can see, in the open court, very difficult to stop. He's got that medium range shot as well. As you can see, his numbers 9.9 points, 4.7 assists heading into today's ball game. A lot will be relied on by that gentleman. Now let's have the fanfare as we welcome the home squad, KOSHIGAYA ALPHAS, as we have their lineup. They're going to have number 4, Jeff Gibbs, as one of their main men. Number 5, LJ Peak. Number 10, Tim Suarez. And number 11, Kai Soto from the Philippines. Their Asia Quota import. Kai did so well during that FIBA window in those 2 wins by the Philippines, Gilas Pilipinas against New Zealand, and then eventually against Hong Kong as well. The Philippines at 4-0 right now and have qualified for the Asia Cup for 2025, and Kai Sotto showed marked improvement. He has always been a rim protector, but he showed his offensive prowess with moves such as that up against the taller and burlier New Zealanders. Taking advantage of his entire 7'4" frame. But he's a big man that can hit the outside shot as well. Look at those numbers, 12.1 points, 9.4 rebounds. He is going to be the focal point of the Alphas for years to come. Now we've got the lineup here. These are the guys coming off the bench. And there you have the starting five for the squad of the Alphas. Starting out with number 4, Jeff Gibbs. You have number 5, LJ Peak. Number 7, that's Shun Matsuyama. Number 11, Kai Sotto. And number 31, that is Shuhei Kitagawa. A lot is expected of Kai once again, especially after that successful international window for FIBA. Starters once again, we got Gibbs, Peak, Matsuyama, Soto, and Kitagawa for the Koshigaya Alphas. For Fighting Eagles Nagoya, Olujobi, Namizato, Sadohara, Henry, and Yasuoka. This is going to be a high-paced game, very fast. So some proceedings right before we start. Nice look there at Coach Ryu Anzai. There is Coach Kawabe. An air ball there from one of our fans. And they're hoping that it's not a portent of things to come for their squad. You got a jam-packed Koshigaya City Gym. These fans have been dying to see their Alphas for 2 weeks. And our match ready to get underway. Sean O'Mara will be coming off the bench, supposedly, but doesn't look like he's dressed. So looking at the lineup, there is no Sean O'Mara, so he will not be suiting up today. They still have their Asia Quota import in Xiang Chu Cheng, who is 6'9", who will be coming off the bench to add a little bit more ceiling. But they're in a little bit of trouble because they are one man short Talking about Nagoya. For the hometown Alphas though. Let's see if they can take advantage. We're all set. Finally, after a 2-week break, we're good to go. Or are we? Clock's not working properly though. We still can't begin. And it says 0 there on the clock. We have yet to start our ball game. 24-second shot clock seems to be working. But we got to put 10 minutes up there. It says 3 points already on the board. Nobody scored. We haven't even had the jump ball yet. Little technical difficulties to start things off, and that happens. We'll get that sorted in a bit. And these fans just dying to cheer on their Alphas. So neither of these squads have a winning record. They'd like to first be able to move up and get to 500 in terms of their standings, and then look for greater things further down the road. So both squads have played 14 games. We talked about the fact that each team plays 60, so there's a lot of basketball still to be played in the season. Not yet the time to panic. But you still don't want to fall further down in the cellar than where they find themselves at the moment, both these teams. So the coaches will call the respective players back onto the bench. We'll take a little break. We'll be back. Okay, they've got the game clock working. We are all set to go. Kai up against Olujobi. The visitors will get first crack. Fantasista with it. Fantasista still. Quick three. Short. Nice tap there by Gibbs. Decent shot from Yasuoka. Wow, LJ Peak in the open court quickly scores. He's been raring to play. Another three. Nothing. Peak pushing. Not a good pass. In the open court, Sadohara will finish this one with a slam. He's got that in his bag. As we mentioned, one of the versatile players that the B.LEAGUE has to offer. He's tall as well. Sadohara is 6'4". Early tie here. Kai comes out. Trying to go inside. The flip will drop there for Matsuyama. So Henry likes to operate on the outside. Olujobi down low. Sadohara thought he got space. Kicks it out. Big three. It's now a 1-point lead here for Nagoya. Fantasista with the shot. We mentioned it's going to be a quick pace here for both these squads. When they see an open shot, they'll take it. Aaron gets denied, but He got denied because he was fouled by LJ Peak. Watch it here. He got clipped in the arm. Second will drop for Henry. Split from the line. 2-point lead enjoyed by Nagoya. You hear the cheers of "Let's go Alphas." An egg on their squad. The foul's going to be called there. Olujobi. He's long, but Kai is longer. Not too much contact, but in the end, whistle was blown. Gibbs. Almost another errant pass. Gibbs, great space. He's got such a wide body, and those shoulders can just knock off anybody. We're tied at 6. Another hurried 3. That was a brick. Henry able to really see exactly where the passes are coming. That's his second steal already. They've got to be wary of his quickness. You can see he just closes the gap there. And automatically an unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called. They're going to try to get confirmation, but that was the initial call on the floor. Now they're going to have to determine if he was trying to go for the ball. Well, it looked like he was trying to go for the ball, but Henry protected it and brought it away. Let's see what the final call will be. And it's going to be upheld. Unsportsmanlike foul. That's going to work out perfectly there for Henry. First personal foul going to be called there on Matsuyama. Henry had split from the line earlier. That is a high looping free throw. You'll get both. He didn't look exactly sure of that one with his body language, but it was all net. Back to a 2-point lead, and they're going to have possession here because of that unsportsmanlike foul. Sadohara will give it over to Henry. Fantasista. Nice look. Sadohara to the corner. A little bit too strong. So far, nothing working for the shooting of Yasuoka. Another steal. Fantasista in the open court. Leaves it to Henry. They don't want to challenge Kai. Here, Olujobi can challenge. Extra pass. Namizato hits. That's exceptional passing. It's now a 5-point advantage at 11-6. Quick shot not going to work. Peak with a steal of his own. A lot of steals here in the first period. Let's see if they're able to have crisper passes as his game goes on. Fantasista, great pass. Sadohara moving so well without the basketball. He's got 2 points. 2 baskets for 4 points. peek. Check that, that's Jeff Gibbs. Again, just making sure that he's able to turn those shoulders. Gets his defender off him. Not wanting to challenge Kai. That's a wise decision. Olojobi. At the wing. Henry. Long three. Yes! This is now the biggest lead in the contest. At 6 points. At 16-10. Gibbs down low against Adohara. Spins. Open shot not going to work. Henry clears the board. Open three. Finally getting one to go. Yasuoka drains it. He's now 1 out of 3 from the field, but this is going to force a timeout now for the Alphas. They find themselves down by 9, 19-10. Gibbs on the outside. They go to the wing. 3 on the way. Not going to drop. 1 and done. That has actually been the theme here. A foul's going to be called on Henry. Wow, Koshikawa able to help out there. He went down, got dirty. Nice work from Kenshin. First personal foul going to be called there on Henry. He's still asking about it. Nice pick set there by Suarez. Suarez for 3. A little bit too strong. That's what you cannot do. Dribble in traffic. You lose the basketball. Kai's been lifted. Suarez now in. Suarez with the roll. They don't find him. Gibbs will put up a 3. Henry clears. Now they want to walk things up. They're going to slow things down. Namisato says, we don't need to rush. We've got a 9-point lead. Olujobi. Almost another steal. As you can see, Suarez getting his hand on that one. A lot of hurried threes here from both these squads. But it has worked for Nagoya as they have a sizable lead. Suarez asking for it. Might have been called for a 3-second violation, but in the end, he's going to get a 3-point play. Under 4 minutes to be played here in the opening quarter. Watch this play unfold. Gibbs quickly goes to Suarez. That wasn't the best of angles to give him that entry pass, but he got it anyhow. First personal foul there going to be called on Nakamura. Kai Soto quickly back in. They need him there for, aside from his defense, the defense of the other team will have to really react when he's there, especially when he rolls to the basket. Here comes Cheng. Cheng is 6'9", so he gives a lot of height to his squad, but against Kai Soto, who's 7'4", he's still going to be a little hard pressed. Cheng's first touch of the basketball, and a foul would be called. That's a cheap foul. Not exactly the kind of foul you want to give. Poor foul there from Sasakura. That's going to be his first personal foul, and that's going to be the third team foul of his team. Sandohara gets it inside to Henry. Cheng can hit that shot. Not that time though. He's another one of those stretch bigs similar to Kai Soto. Kai trying to battle inside, but Cheng did his job. Held on to Kai. Kai's complaining. Referee say play on. Cheng with a handoff, finds Henry. Henry's got range. I'm a bit surprised. There he goes to the basket, which he should be. Is stay aggressive. Leads back up to 8. The veteran, Ryoma Hashimoto, on the floor. He's got the basketball. Open three, yes! That's why it works when you have guys like Hashimoto on the floor, finding the open man. And knocking that one down was Sasakura. You really don't want to take shots inside that paint. Pass. Stolen by Suarez. Sandohara with a preemptive foul there. Suarez just said, thank you very much for that one. That was given right to him. There's Sandohara. Coming in right now, number 90, Rin Yamazaki, in place of Olujobi. Olujobi actually just checked in for this particular ball game, replacing Isaac Butts. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll be back. No, actually, now they're going to study this one. I think this was the last foul, which is very similar to what occurred a while ago. That's why there's going to be a head coach challenge, because it looks like Coach Rio Anzai says, if you called an unsportsmanlike foul a while ago, this should be an unsportsmanlike foul as well. Was he able to get hold of the basketball? That is very similar. Almost identical. Good time to be able to use your timeout. Let's see. Ooh, they're going to deem it just a regular foul. Honestly, can't quite see the difference between the earlier unsportsmanlike foul and that one. That's what the referees will decide though. Nagoya now in the penalty with still 2:34 to be played. Hashimoto. And look inside, that pass from Kai a little bit too late. There were two players around Suarez. Sadohara will stop and pop and misfire. A little bit too good and too quick that time was Sasakura. Henry will miss. Henry had all day to shoot there. Another hurried three. Hashimoto. No challenge. Not yet, at least. He'll get it back. We've got two players in the low block. They can go high-low, but Suarez will come up short in that attempt. They just can't seem to get it inside to their big men. LJ Peak will check in. Already with 4 points. Sasayama will come in for the very first time for his squad as well. Takaya Sasayama, 5'10" point guard. Jumper on the way, not gonna work. Careless handling of the basketball once again. Not quite sure what's it with today. Maybe a little rusty after that 2-day break. Both these squads have not been actually sharp in terms of their taking care of the basketball. Looking at the Koshigaya squad, they've got 7 turnovers already. 3 turnovers for Nagoya. Nagoya is going to hit once again there. Quick basket coming from Nakamura. And the lead is back up to 7. Under a minute to be played. And look inside, Suarez battling. And a foul will be called on Rin Yamazaki. Look at Suarez there battling inside. Yamazaki is doing his very best. He's 6'3". Suarez is 6'11". The problem is with that foul, his squad's in the penalty. That's going to mean 2 free throws. Our officials are going to check on something once again, I believe. They've asked for assistance from the table officials for quite a number of times. There's a problem with the clock once again. It's supposed to be 49 seconds remaining in the quarter. The game clock says 2:34. We'll take a little break.
試合が一旦中断しております。今しばらくお待ちください。
We're still working on the issue there with the game clock. Stick around because more action coming your way in a bit. It's 23-16 in favor of the visiting squad, Nagoya.
お心当たりのある方は総合案内所までお越しください。 皆様お待たせいたしました。再開いたします。さあ、気を取り直してアルファメイト全員で熱い応援をしましょう。レッツゴーアルファス。
Suarez hits the free throw as we're finally back. Officially 49 seconds remaining here. That was a pretty long lull. In fact, the players actually had to start warming up again. Suarez makes both, cuts that deficit to 5, and you can see Coach Anzai saying, okay, that lull just might help our squad. The momentum was actually clearly on the opponent's side. But they come right back talking about the Fighting Eagles. They score once again, lead back up to 7. Approaching the final 30 seconds. Suarez with a handoff. Asks for it, gets it. Nice matchup there. Open 3. Set up well. Just not hitting the shot. Going for the final shot here. Nagoya. Wanted to increase his lead even further. Tseng with the pick. Trying to get inside. Misfiring. Pretty good shot though from Nakamura. And finally, after a long lull, first 10 minutes of action is done. And it's a 7-point lead enjoyed by the visiting squad. 25-18.
Thank you, Alpha.
Second quarter is underway. Let's see what the Alphas can do here as they trail the Fighting Eagles. Even at left, on a drop there for LJ Peak. Nothing seems to be working here. These hurried threes put up by the Fighting Eagles Nagoya have been working. They built a 7-point lead. There's another three. That one is way short. Cheng can't save it. Olufemi will check back in. First game for Olufemi Olajobi. Still no points. He's in there battling Kai though. That in itself is a huge task. Another poor pass. 2-on-1 break. They find Olajobi, gives it right back. Smart play there. Trusting his teammates. Sasayama converts. Back up to a 9-point lead here for the visitors. Peak gets it to Kai. Kai, his pass too high. Suarez trying to chase. Open three. Just short. One of the few attempts we've seen from Olufemi. He's contributing in other departments though. Suarez will go to Kai. Kai trying to battle inside. Forces it up and it drops. Height is might. First 2 points for Kai. He's trying to force the issue there against Cheng. Lucky able to get it back, as he was helped out there by the effort also of Hashimoto. Cheng will pick up his first team foul as well for Nagoya. Checking back in is Sasakura. Kai completes the 3-point play. And Gibbs will come in for Kai. Expect him back in a few. This little blow here. But Kai's going to get so much burn today. Nice glide inside from Henry. You've got to stop him when he gets to the free throw line. He now has 10 points in the contest. He's having his way all throughout. You got to be in his face there. The problem was, Jeff Gibbs allowed him to get through. Suarez with his first personal foul. Sadohara is going to check back in. 4 points in all. He brings a lot of toughness defensively as well. Henry takes care of business. Hashimoto starting out the second. They can't get it inside to their big man. Finally they do. Gibbs using his strength once again. Up against two individuals. And you can see him getting his own misses. Gibbs, remember, he's only 6'2". Henry 6'5". Out jumping both imports there. Talk about determination. That's Jeff Gibbs, who has said he will be retiring at the end of this season. Olajobi will pick up another foul. That's number 2. So Cheng back in. Unfortunately for Nagoya, there is no Sean O'Mara. He's on the bench nursing an injury. So they're down 1 international import as Gibbs makes the first. Chance of defense from the predominantly Alphas crowd. Cheng, nice move. That's going to be the second personal foul of Suarez. Look at the posture of Cheng there. That's against a world import. Waited for the contact, felt it, and completed the three-point play here. Suarez will have to take a seat. Kai Soto has no choice but to come back in a little earlier, I think, than Coach Rio would have wanted. So Coach Anzai will have to vary his substitutions a little bit. And there's Cheng completing that three-point play. He's a very good free throw shooter. Now 10-point lead, another steal. Just too many steals here. Now a 12-point advantage. Just too many turnovers. Already 9 for Koshigaya. That's a hurried three. And that was well defended. That's a forced shot. Sadohara. That's too easy. He had a smaller defender. Just gave him the body, turned around, banked that shot, and it's now a 14-point lead here. Watch it once again. This was the steal. Easy layup there for Sasayama. Crowd trying to help out their squad. Already down by 14 here. Can they get something going? They've been a step slow all throughout the afternoon. First personal foul going to be called there on Sasayama. Kai will hand it off. Matsuyama now hands it over to Hoshikawa. Kai against 3, will lose it. He's got to issue that pass quickly. As Cheng gets the steal. After he made the initial move and he saw there were 3 around him. He's got to find the open man. Now chance of defense. They need to be able to stop this squad from scoring. The lead is already 14. Sadohara. Oh, that's a smart play from Rio. He knew he had no chance, but what he did is he took a stab at it and knocked it off the leg of his opponent. Extra pass. Cheng's going to get blocked. And Cheng will be called for a foul there. Heads up play this time from Jeff Gibbs. And that's going to be block number 1 here for Kai. Clearly contact. Second personal foul on Cheng. He's got to be very careful. They need him for this ball game. Checking it for the first time is Reita Matsumoto. 6'2" guard. Newly acquired in the middle of the season. Actually, after the season started. Nice 3 there from Matsuyama. He's got 5 points in the contest. That's going to cut the lead down to 11. Now they got to play D once again. And they're going to say it's a backing violation. Nice pressure shown there by Kitagawa. They got the turnover now, and here comes Namizato, fully rested. This is his first taste of action. I'm talking about the second period. He started out for his squad. That foul is going to put them in the penalty. That's a lot of basketball still to be played. They got into the penalty early with 2:34 still to be played in the first. Talking about Nagoya. Now they're in the penalty again. This is a golden opportunity for the home squad to be able to whittle at that lead. It's now down to 9. Two-man game. Wow. That was a dagger of a 3 from Yasuoka. Was there a foul in the process as well? He just got to his spot and elevated. There might have been a bit of contact there, but look at the concentration on Yasuoka here. Six points now in the contest for Yasuoka. Henry back in. His squad trying to protect this 12-point lead. Gibbs against 2. That's a nice find. Open 3. Those are the shots you need to be able to make. And knocking that one down was Reita. Back down to 9. Foul will be called. And that foul on Reita will be his first. But that's going to put his squad in the penalty. Official timeout we've got here. 4:58 remaining in the first half. 40 for the visiting squad. 31 for the home team.
株式会社アルファサウンドカンパニー、そして本日のゲームデースポンサー株式会社ベンツ、日頃のご支援誠にありがとうございます。
Half a quarter remaining before we get to the halftime break. Henry's floater, short. Gibbs collects. Gibbs will bring it down himself and hand it off. Gibbs with a big pick, and he was moving. Offensive foul going to be called, so we're going the other way. Already the 11th turnover for the Alphas. Well, the problem also for Gibbs is he's that wide. So a lot of times just a slight movement, that shoulder is going to get in the way. Foul here. And that's going to mean free throws. Both these teams in the penalty already. That foul is going to be called on Kai, his second. So Suarez with 2, Kai with 2. So both the big men here for the home squad in a bit of trouble. So Kai will be relieved. Coming in is Soichiro Inoue. He's 6'7". So he does add a lot of ceiling to the squad, but definitely not 7'4". Lead is back up to 10, and it's the gunner, Yasuok, on the line. Another 11-point lead. Some backcourt pressure. They're able to get it past the timeline. You like that little change of pace just to throw off the offense. Here's Gibbs. Gibbs inside. That's against Sadohara. Sadohara strong. But you saw how he flew after he was bumped by Gibbs. Sadohara saying that should have been an offensive foul. Gibbs is saying that should have been an end one situation. Referee say, play on. Henry going all the way to the cup, will misfire though. Matsuyama will wait for the rest of the troops. Inside to Gibbs. There's the quick double. That's clearly a foul. Yasuoka just grabbed onto Gibbs. You can't do that. Watch it here. He had his right arm around him. Maybe Yasuoka didn't realize that his team was in the penalty. And that's why we got a timeout here. Coaches are going to talk to their boys to let them know about the foul situation. Gibbs short in the first. You saw his body language. Makes good on the second. Cuts the lead down to 8. And he's going to get it back. They're not asking Fantasista to create for his squad. Here he goes. That's what he can do. It's not going to drop though. Teng there for the putback. Teng using his entire 6'9" frame. He now has 7 points. Tadahara is all over Gibbs. Gibbs can't get any space whatsoever. Active hands once again, that time from Namizato. That's a perfect find. Waited for Sadohara to get into his right spot. Gave him the ball. Peek. Gibbs has been asking for it. He's getting bullied inside by Sadohara. Maybe not the best of shots. Gibbs with an offensive rebound. Can't put it through though. Third crack at the basket here. They put up another 3. Gibbs, offensive rebound. Will overshoot. They had 4 cracks at the basket and got none. Release pass. Open 3, yes. That's Yasuoka finding his spot and his teammates looking for him. 11 points now for Yasuoka. It's now a 15-point advantage, the biggest lead in the ball game. That's another hurried shot. Namizato sets up Yasuoka. That's too easy. Nobody boxing out Sadohara. He's in double digits. Crowd begging for their alphas. Look at the way they box out Gibbs. Cheng gets the board and they're pushing. Sadohara in the open court. That's a travel. Yasuoka was waiting in the wing. If he got that pass, he would have had a decent attempt. Suarez will check in. Final minute and 16 of the first half. Kai will come in as well. So despite 2 fouls, a little bit of a gamble here from Coach Anzai. Foul's going to be called there. Not a good foul issued there by Sadohara. Realizes it now. Here's the bump. Boom. So 2 free throws for Kitagawa now. Yamazaki will take his place. Why are you going to give a struggling team 2 free throws? A little bit too excited there. Sadohara. Coming closer now. There's another steal. Peek with the basket. N1 situation. As they say, you can't blink. You could miss the action. Big rally here off that steal. That's going to be only turnover number 6 for Nagoya. Second personal foul going to be called on Henry though. Misato. Under a minute to be played here. That's a smart play from Namisato. You heard the whistle, threw it up, but regardless, he's going to have 2 free throws. Both teams in the penalty here for the final seconds of the second period. Leads back up to 14. Time for a possession each. Might have been a travel there. That's exactly what Henry was saying. The peak made it look so smooth. Referees let it go. 2-second difference from the game clock and the shot clock. Misato. Excellent pass. Cheng for 3, just short. Suarez picks it up. Hurried shot. They should have been able to get an even better one there. The 2 quarters are done. And after 10 minutes of action, it's 53 for Nagoya. The Alphas at 41.
Come on, Alpha B.LEAGUE. Thank you, Alpha B.LEAGUE. 昭和歌謡を令和の時代にリバイバル。秋元康プロデュースのもと、さまざまな経験を持った6人です。3000人以上の中からオーディションで選ばれました。現在はテレビ番組「ぽかぽか」にも出演中。9月には念願のデビューシングル「君の王子様」がリリースされました。昨シーズン、越谷アルファズの応援にレギュラーシーズンだけでなくプレーオフにも駆けつけてくれました。アルファーズは B1 昇格を、昭和はメジャーデビューを見事勝ち取り、約束の B1 の舞台でのパフォーマンスが叶うことになりました。それでは昭和の皆さんです。よろしくお願いいたします。
ありがとうございます。改めまして皆様こんにちは。秋元康プロデュース翔です。よろしくお願いします。
はい、現在僕たちの写真集が予約中です。ぜひよろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。またこうして3回目呼んでいただけて、本当に僕たちショーは嬉しく思っております。本当に皆様ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
はい、それでは、次の曲は、僕たちのメジャーデビュー曲、聴いてください。君の王子様。
悩んで
昭和の皆さんありがとうございました。今一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
ここで B リーグパートナー各社をご紹介いたします。 B リーグトップパートナーソフトバンク、 B リーグタイトルパートナーリソナグループ、 B リーグイノベーションパートナーインフロニアホールディングス、 B リーグパートナーズ日本郵便、 G ショック、日本生命、 B リーグサポーティングカンパニーズ、ソニーミュージックエンターテインメント、モルテ、朝日新聞、日本経済新聞社、大塚製薬、野村工芸社、 EY ジャパン、エニタイムフィットネス、アーシャルデザイン、ストライク、 TIS、 スポーツデポ、 B リーグサプライヤーアダストリア、 B リーグコミュニケーションパートナー LINE ヤフー、 B リーグスポーツ振興パートナースポーツくじウィナー。以上 B リーグパートナー各社のご紹介でした。
求められるインフラは時代で変わる。求められるインフラは地域で変わる。本当に必要なインフラを提供し続けたい。その道のりは険しく果てしない。それでも私たちは地域の未来へパスをつなぎたい。
越谷アルファズ2024-25シーズンオフィシャルパートナーのご紹介です。株式会社ハンディキャップクラウド、株式会社サイダス、株式会社ギブリー、株式会社 GFD、株式会社ブルースター、地芸株式会社、株式会社クリア花吹、株式会社センスメイキング、株式会社 USE、株式会社マルニックス、株式会社梶原、株式会社チェンジ、株式会社ジャム、モニック株式会社、株式会社ソーシャルテック、株式会社アットサウンドカンパニー。埼玉市民株式会社 T&S 医療法人総美会岸田歯科医院株式会社山一商事トヨタカローラ埼玉株式会社株式会社タクプラグループホールディングスまたご覧のパートナーにご支援いただいております。 越谷パス2024-25シーズンサポートカンパニーのご紹介です。日頃のご支援誠にありがとうございます。
You're now enjoying the highlights here of the first 2 quarters of play. Koshigaya actually scored the first 2 points. They led 2-0, but then after that, it was Nagoya leading the entire way. They first led by 1 at 5-4 and led it all the way to 17 at 51-34. First quarter ended in favor of Nagoya by 7, 25-18. Kai Soto gets it to drop there. Kai Soto has not been as effective as everybody expected him to be here, but that gentleman right there, Aaron Henry, getting to his spots and just too many turnovers. Nice steal here and a lay-in. That 3 would drop, but it was challenged. A lot of 4 shots. And a lot of lackadaisical passes leading to so many turnovers. 12 turnovers for the Alphas, only 6. Nice put back there by Cheng. He came in off the bench and gave them quality minutes. Sadohara with the steal. He'll run the floor and finish strong. As we have the numbers for you, 2-point field goal shooting, 65% as compared to 52%. That's a big difference. In terms of 3, also shooting much better. 35% as compared to 23%. Free throw numbers, just about even. But this is a big stat. 12 turnovers already for the Alphas. Only 6 for Nagoya. So they're taking very good care of the basketball. More numbers. Points off turnovers, you can see there, 17-9 in favor of the visiting team. Those are the numbers there at the bottom of your screens. Too many easy baskets. A lot of them off these live turnovers. Here's Namizato. Look at that excellent ball movement. Namizato eventually hits that 3 from the corner. Another poor pass. Olujobi hasn't scored, but he's been helping set his teammates up very well. Here are the numbers again. Look at their rebounding numbers. Actually, the Alphas, +6 there, 21-15. But in the assists, it's +5 in favor of Nagoya, 11-6. Scoring leaders, Gibbs and Peak with 9 each. Matsuyama's got 7, 5 for Suarez, and Kai Soto only with that 3-point play for a total of 3 points. For Nagoya, 3 players in double digits, 11 apiece for Henry and Yasuoka off a few threes. Sadohara's got 10, Namizato has 8, and Cheng, as we said, off the bench with 7. Coaches have gone to their huddles, went to the dugout, changed some of the stuff here and there, and let's see what the adjustments will be, and if those adjustments will be enough. 12-point lead enjoyed here, 53-41 by the visiting squad. Henry almost lost it. Peak thought he got the steal off that stab from the back. You like the play that Olujobi is doing. He's not ball dominant, but he's trying to plug the holes as Henry fell a little gingerly there off that foul. Well, that's what he can do. He can blow past Gibbs. Gibbs isn't the quickest of individuals at 44 years old, though he is strong. Second personal foul going to be picked up there by Matsuyama. That was tapped out. Kai Soto has had a real tough outing here this afternoon. Henry. We've not had a solution here to Aaron so far. Namizato goes to Olujobi. Olujobi's gonna get away. He's gonna miss though. Worried about the presence there of Kai Soto. Gibbs inside for two. Gibbs now at 11 points. He's in double digits. Olujobi right back to Henry. Here's Henry with a floater. That was halfway down. Almost another steal. It's completed though. Henry's just so aware. A lot of those heads-up play of his. Namizato. Olujobi for three. Yes! First points in the B-League. Here for Olujobi. Perfect setup from Namizato. Leads back up to 14. Another poor pass that might have been, well, it's called a kick ball. Yasuoka saying, looks like it hit my shin. Let's take a look at that last play though. Offensively, Olujobi swishes it. Well, the defense had to react to Namizato. 14-second shot clock here. Peak short. Gibbs, offensive rebound. He's going to lose it to Henry though. Nice push. Olujobi will stop from 15 feet. Maybe not his specialty. He likes the set shot. Nice look inside. Kai Soto for two. He's got 5 points now. They're going to try to milk that matchup inside. Olujobi will bring it up. Got to go to the wing. Yasuoka. He's a marked man now, that's for sure. Namizato gets denied. No look pass. Boy, not exactly the kind of pass you want to issue when you're trailing big. Easy finish there by Henry. This is a timeout badly needed by Coach Anzai. His team trailing by 14. And they're coming up with some highlight plays which turn out to be turnovers. Coming off that timeout, you'd like to be able to score. They send in the veteran Hashimoto. Peak. Try to bring it inside. Finds Kai Soto. And he's hammered. Yasuoka gave up that foul. Just wanted to make sure there was no three-point play. Good presence of mind though for Kai to be able to try to go for that shot. So they're going to give him 2 free throws. Second personal foul on Yasuoka. Kai will make both. Now it's 7 points. And the deficit they're facing is 12. And Misato actually hasn't had to do too much here today. Henry has taken over and done most of the quarterbacking chores. Now Misato's just spreading the floor. Here's Henry once again. He'll come up short though. Trying to push. Are the Alphas. They almost lost it. Peak. That's a nice find. Oh, wow. It got off the hands of Kai, but in the end, it still dropped. Misato. Again, Olujobi not forcing things. Misato with that long rebound. Misato inside for 2. He has picked his spots, and he picked his spots perfectly. Attacking when he sees that the defense isn't looking. He's trying to guard Suarez inside. But hitting from the outside is LJ Peak. And the timeout wants to be called here now by Coach Kawabe. Still with a 9-point lead. But the offense of the Alphas are now flowing. Not the best of fouls there. Want to pressure the defender, but not give up a cheap foul there. Hashimoto will pick up his second. Look at the pressure in the backcourt here. Now they're going to call it off. Sadohara will bring it down. Olujobi. Oh, the quarterback in chores, so they're giving a little bit more responsibility. He was setting up inside. Foul there by the youngster, Kenshin Hoshikawa. He's 22 years old. Very quickly, that's going to be the second team foul. Yasuoka stops, pops, and will miss. Good box out there from Suarez. Easy rebound for Kai. Let's see if they try to look for Kai once again inside. There is a mismatch. It's Sadohara on him. Peak falling away. No. In the open court, it's Henry. That's too easy. Henry now with 16 points. And that's a momentum breaker. That'll kill whatever momentum that the Alphas were trying to get. Suarez inside, a lot of contact. And he'll finish in traffic. 7 points now for Tim. Clearly a foul there from Namizato. Under 5 minutes to be played here in the third. Cheng will check back in. He had a huge contribution in the first half. That's what you need from your Asia Quota import. Suarez with a three-point play. Completes. Namizato in the backcourt, up against Hashimoto. They want to go to the corner. They go to their gunner. Setting up Sadohara, and Rio hits. Rio can hit that three. He's got 13 points. So what do? You can't overreact. There's another steal here. Namizato with a finish. Things are starting to get out of hand once again, and a quick timeout will have to be called here by Koshigaya. After a quick timeout, They look to go to Kai. Nice fake there by Kai. Sets up the open three. That's going to be assist there for Soto. Nice basket from Kitagawa. Those are the shots he needs to be able to make, especially if they want to come back here in this ball game. Kai trying to make things happen for his squad. Cuts the lead down to 10. Just about 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third. And look inside, they can't get it to Cheng. Nice look there at Fantasista. Once played for the Yuku Golden Kings. Shot clock is going to expire though. Pretty good defense put up there by LJ Peak. Making sure that the shot clock expired without fouling. Now they got to score. Is there going to be a challenge here on possession? But the shot clock expired. So even if they do have possession, we're going the other way. Getting ready to check in is Nakamura. Number 13 there in the background. Nice look there at the mascot of the Alphas. Little huddle here between Coach Ryu Anzai and some of his boys. Kai Soto says, let's get this game going.
ショットクロック4秒残して再開となります。
So they say there's 0.4 remaining. So the shot clock hasn't expired. 0.4 enough for a catch and shoot. You got to be pushing it towards the basket quickly. Oh, that's a big three. And Henry said, thank you very much. Prayer answered there. Wow, that's huge. Lead back up to 13. And now you can see they have a little bit more perk in their step. Trying to answer the three, yes. That's a great response. Leads back down to 10. Yasuoka gets it from Cheng. Cheng sets that pick. Rolls to the basket. He's got the mismatch down low if they want it. Cheng, they've got to take that shot. Nobody wanted to take the shot. Olujobi should have. He had the best look. Suarez, wild on that three. He has yet to find his range here this afternoon, and they need him to find his range if they want to have any chance of a comeback here. Sasayama joining the fray once again. He was very effective in the first two periods. You like Cheng, not really forcing anything, as Henry stops and pops from the wing. He just continues to pile on the points. He's got 21 total. Look at that pass. That's just lack of concentration, which you cannot do when you're trailing. 11 points in the contest now for Gibbs as he's sent back in. Olujobi will bring it back out. No need to force the situation. Henry, Olujobi. Ulujobi copped out there. That was a Hail Mary of a shot which almost went down once again. Kai Soto has been rested here for the final minutes of the fourth. Another steal. 2-1 break. And an easy finish there. We talked about Sasayama coming in, and he adds a lot of defensive presence. Got the steal there and the layup. Leads back up to 14. Hashimoto. They can't find Suarez inside. Ulujobi has really done a good job. But Gibbs will get away for two. Ulujobi is not the controlling import, but he will help you get the job done. Puts up a three here. Short that time. Nice seal, but also a better foul from Sasayama. Making sure that there was no easy basket. Apologizes there, saying, I just had to do my job. And Suarez knows. Kaito Shike will check in. When we had Kaito in the coverage before the international window, he was the best player in one of the two games that weekend. Another lackadaisical pass. And another turnover. That's turnover number 19. Easy floater there for Henry. He's got 23 now in the ball game. Almost another steal. Alphas need to be able to set up for a good shot here. And they need to be able to score. Nice basket inside from Suarez. Time for one final heave. Had a good stab at it. It's not going to drop. We're done with 3 quarters here. And it's a 12-point lead. Still enjoyed by the visiting squad at 77-65. Fourth quarter's upon us. more than enough time for the Alphas to get right back into this one, but they need to score. They don't. Henry will try to push. Early seal by Cheng, and a foul here will be called quickly on Kitagawa. 2 free throws for the 6'9" center from Chinese Taipei. First personal foul going to be called there on Shuhei. Gibbs continues to talk to his teammates, saying we gotta control the pace, we gotta control the tempo, and we need to score whenever we can. Whenever we have the opportunity. We're not doing that, and that's why we're still trailing by 12. A lot of adjustments have been made by Coach Anzai, but the problem is they have not been able to come up with crisp passes yet. Cheng will be called for entering the lane a little bit too early. Cheng is a pretty good free throw shooter. Missing 2 there. Shike. See if he can use his speed here today. It's going to drop there for Jeff Gibbs. He leads down to 10. I think he wants to try to take matters into his own hands here. And he might well have to. Especially with Suarez not hitting his target. And Kai Soto struggling a little bit here. Hashimoto's going to have his hands full here against Henry. Trying to look for Henry down at the low block. He'll kick it back out. Sadohara will come up short. Gibbs will try to force the action. Shike. Shike asking for some movement as they go to Suarez. They send the double. Then they've got to recover. Hashimoto for a deep one. Suarez will lose it after he got that offensive rebound. Sadohara is going to pick up another personal here. Once again trying to lock horns with the opposing import. That's going to be foul number 3. He's got to watch it. Ooh, an offensive foul is going to be called here. So they're going to say Jeff Gibbs carved out too much space. And Gibbs saying, I was just using my strength. Not my fault I'm strong. Checking back in is Hoshikawa. He needs some firepower from the outside. Matsuyama is also in. But he has not also been effective today. Time is starting to run out. There's still a lot of time. Over 8 minutes. Sadohara will overshoot. We need some easy baskets. Here's Gibbs. Splits the double team. 2 free throws coming up here for Jeff. Kai Soto back in action. He's got 9 points. 1 block. More than anything else, they need his defensive presence, gobbling up those defensive rebounds. It's got to be one and done. Gibbs makes both. And the lead is now down to 8. Peak will check in. Gibbs has done his job. And now they send Namisato. That's a great move here from Coach Kawabe. Some more versatility now in their offense. Olujobi's back as well. Remember, no Sean O'Mara for the squad of Nagoya today. He's on the injured list. Henry inside, yes! Scores again. He's got 25 points and the lead is back up to 10. Henry has been virtually unstoppable today. Perfect bounce pass. Nice swing. Kai Soto left open for this too. He can hit that. Namisato at the controls. Nice spin by Henry. The flip short goes right back to him. And he gets denied there by Kai. That is why the entire first 2 periods, nobody wanted to take a shot inside the paint because Soto's there. I guess he was caught in no man's land. At least they got the ball back. They got the stop. Can they bring this down to 6? This 8 points has been the closest that they've gotten. Kai setting the pick. Nice block from the back there. Nice block. Wanted to ask for a review, but they're going to keep the coach's challenge. Though they had one earlier, which they won. Nice basket inside by Peak. You can see Coach Kawabe not taking any chances. He wants some minor adjustments heading into the final. 6 minutes and 39. Coach Kawabe had a slight feeling that the momentum really on the side of their opponents, which is true because that lead has been cut down to 6. He wants his squad to be able to score here. Namisato for 3, overshoots. Nice rebound by Cheng. 3 not gonna work. Masuoka was deadly in the first 2 periods, missing that 3 there. You got a ball game heading into the final minutes. Suarez, no! Kai was about to get an offensive rebound, but they're going to say a foul is on Henry. Tapping it out of the hands of Kai. They're going to say the foul's on Cheng. His third. Trying to get it to Kai there. LJ should have just taken that one. Even a soft shot, if it comes off the rim, Kai would have been there. And Bisato and company dodged the bullet. They're still up by 6. They've got possession. Henry. Cheng will launch. And he misfires. He's got that in his arsenal. He's missed 2 already though. He also has missed 2 free throws. The fate of this game still hanging in the balance. Suarez will bring it down. Up against Ulujobi. Peak for 3. That is going to cut the deficit in half. Just 3 points separating these squads. We're going to have an exciting 5 minutes. Now the crowd here inside the Koshigaya City Gym, alive! Their squad was once trailing by 17. Now it's a 1-possession ball game. Travel will be called. And a chance now for the home squad to get to within 1 or tie things up with a 3. There's the travel. Coach Anzai was all over that one. That'll bring us to this official timeout. 4:54 remaining in this one. Don't go away. The most exciting part is coming up. Final 5 minutes of this one. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here for B-League action. A lot of contact in the back. Referee saying play on. Suarez inside, short. Kai with a big slam. He makes that look so easy. He now has 13 points. Kai Soto also with a total of 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Not to mention he has 2 blocks. Suarez with a steal. Can't control it though. Was he able to get possession? They say he did. That's why the shot clock went to 23. Look at that. Kai Soto tapping it to himself and says, "This is what I've been wanting to do." He he could be NBA bound in the next couple of years. He just needs to get stronger and work on his outside game. No panic on Coach Kawabe. So far, his team's still up. Looks like we're going to have a coach's challenge here. Not quite sure what the challenge is for. That clearly was off Suarez. So the challenge here is from Coach Kawabe. But the call says the call on the floor was their ball. Coach Anzai used his challenge earlier, so he's out of challenges. Let's see what the challenge will be and what the result will be as well, and who they'll give possession to. Well, they're also looking at the shot clock, which we mentioned a while ago. If there was no change of possession, that shot clock should go back down. That is what they were looking at. So there was no full possession here for Suarez. So the ball will stay with Kawabe's boys, but they've got 4 seconds remaining on their shot clock. Now everything is clear. They need something going towards the basket. Henry. He came close. Possession now to the boys in red, and a chance for them to take the lead. They last tasted the lead at 2-0. What a time for them to do that now. After trailing majority of this game, and they trailed by as much as 17. Gibbs inside, yes! Gibbs now with 19 points. What a huge comeback. Namizato to Sadohara. Sadohara scores. Seesaw affair we've got now. 15 points in the contest for Rio. Guy just setting up at the low block. Once again, Jeff Gibbs says there's no way Sadohara can stop me. He scored back-to-back baskets. He's got a total of 21 points. And the crowd now on their feet. Foul will be called there on Gibbs. Watch that last piece of action. Stopping the forward progress. Third personal foul on Jeff. Olujobi will lose it. And they get possession. And they're in the front court. They go to Kai. Easy slam there for Soto. He's going to get a warning though. Touching that ball. Perfect pass from Jeff. And this is now the biggest lead in the ball game for the Alphas at 84-81. Now in a must-win situation for both these squads, really. And again, Green scores. Cameraman there got hit there after that incursion from Aaron Henry. Watch it once again. Everyone's okay. Definitely. Henry with a green light to just go for it. Why not? He has been their leading scorer. Henry with 30 points now. And we're tied at 84. Only our third deadlock. Foul's going to be called on Namizato. He doesn't like it. And that foul will put now both squads in the penalty. So every foul will be a free throw for the opponent. Gibbs. That's a smart move. He knew the opponents were in the penalty and said, why not? Let's just go to the free throw line. Make some shots. We are deadlocked at 84. Big miss there. Look at the free throws. Only the second miss by the Alphas from the free throw line. 1 point lead off the split there from Gibbs. Henry puts up a long one. Yes, that's a big three. Wow, with the defense in his face. Now a total of 31 points. Another one of those lackadaisical passes. And Henry can't finish strong though. He took his time. He should have been much stronger. And we're going the other way. Wow, that should have been an easily a 2-possession ball game. That was off Kai. That was clear. So no timeout's going to be called. Hashimoto sent in here for more leadership. Kitagawa in as well. Trying to make this a 2-possession ball game is Henry. He hit from 3. That spot, he'll bring it closer. Wow. He just got to his spot, shot it over there, the outstretched arms of Kai Soto. And a timeout will now have to be called by the Alphas as they trail by 4. Alphas need to score here. Under 70 seconds to be played. Kai will be fouled. Olujobi wasn't happy with the call, but it looked like there was a lot of contact. Watch it here. It was clean up high, but he got him down low. 2 free throws, big ones for Kai Soto now. Cut the deficit to 2. Yes. As happened the entire afternoon, Henry handling that basketball, playing the 1. Almost lost it. Can't call a timeout. Namisato in traffic. Sadohara for 3. Bang! That's huge. 18 points for Rio. No need to panic here for the Alphas. They just need to score. Kai for 3. Yes! And the lead's down to 2. Sadohara will bring it down. Now they're going to set things up. Difference of 7 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Shot clock's winding down. It's at 4. Henry inside, sidestepping move. Yes, that's big. And that just could be ball game. Gibbs will push it up. They're going to let him take this 3. And it's a 1-ball game here for the visiting squad. They escape after being up by as much as 17. They trailed by 3. Heading into the last 3 minutes. But in the end, they will take the victory here and win by 5, 95-90. What a ball game. As early as now, we'd like to invite you for tomorrow's second game between these two squads at 2 in the afternoon. If you're just joining us, you may be wondering why the game has taken this long. There was a 20-minute delay because of problems with the game clock. Koshigaya thought that it worked in their favor because the momentum before that break was with Nagoya. But in the end, Fighting Eagles will pick up win number 5. Stick around as we're going to have interviews coming your way of our winning coach, Taizo Kawabe, and some of the stars of Fighting Eagles Nagoya. Disappointment there for the hometown squad. They thought they had it in the bag. They thought they got the momentum at the right time, just not able to close it out. That section of Fighting Eagles fans very pleased. As they head into the tunnel, we're getting set for our interview with Coach Kawabe.
また明日があります名古屋のブースターの皆さんに一言お願いします。
本当にタフな状況続いてるんですけど、選手たちはずっと上向いてますし、で今からまたどんどんメンバーが揃っていく中で、自分たちはまだまだ目標である CS っていうところと日々成長するというところを達成しますので、最後まで応援、よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい、解説の作家です。よろしくお願いします。
Let's listen first to our best player of the ball game, Aaron Henry.
まず今日は得点の方でも35ポイント、素晴らしい活躍でしたね。
It was good individual performance, but I just wish that we would have kept the lead that we had going throughout the game. I think we got a lot of things to correct, and hopefully we watch the film tonight and before the game tomorrow and realize that we can be a better team.
はい、もちろん個人の結果がついてきて大変嬉しいんですけれども、チームとしてはやっぱり試合の内容あまり良くなかったのかなと思っていて、せっかく前半で取ったリードを残せずに後半でカムバックさせてしまって逆転を許してしまったので、そこをしっかり今夜ホテルに帰ってからみんなそれぞれゲームを見て反省してほしいですし、明日はチームミーティングがあるはずなので、そこでもう一度修正点を確認してからもっといい試合の内容に明日はしたいと思います。
ただ上から解説見てますと、ディフェンスでですね、非常にディフレクションが多く、非常にハードワークしてたと思うんですけど、その辺が勝利だったんじゃないですか。
It could be better. You know, I mean, my matchup tonight played pretty well, and sometimes I get concerned with helping the team out so much that I forget that I need to do a job on my man. So I think we all just got to be better, like I said, and realize that we're trying to make the playoffs, and we didn't play like a playoff team today, so that's all I'm thinking about right now.
いやもっと良くなれると思ってて、自分のディフェンスもそうですし、チームのディフェンスももっと上手くなれると思ってますので、やっぱりプレーオフに進出するっていうことをチーム目標として掲げているチームなので、それを考えると今日の試合内容絶対ダメだと思うんですよね。もっとできることあるし、チームのこともヘルプできると思いますし、ヘルプに気が取られすぎて自分のマークマンのマッチアップのところでちょっとズレが出てしまったりっていうこともあったので、しっかり修正して明日はもっといい内容でしっかりともっと点差をつけて勝ちたいなと思っています。
はい、最後にファイティングイーグルス名古屋のブースターの皆さんに一言お願いします。
Pretty sure. Thank you all the fans that we're hearing, we're watching, man, and I'm gonna make sure that this team keeps growing, that we all keep getting better, and we're gonna give all the credit, to the coaching staff and give credit to each other for playing hard every day and competing and wanting to win. So I'm grateful. I mean, thank God for you guys, and I'm thankful for everything, man. Go FE.
はい、本当にいつも温かいご声援ありがとうございます。毎日日々、ハードな練習をさせてくれるコーチにも感謝しておりますし、またいつもお互いを鼓舞してくることができるチームメイトの存在にも感謝しています。もちろんファンの皆さんのサポートあってこそですので、これからもチームが成長できるようにキャプテンの一人としてチームを牽引していきたいと思っておりますし、チームが成長し続けた結果、目標達成がしっかりできると思いますので、それをしっかり皆さんに見届けてもらえるようなシーズンにしていきたいと思います。ありがとうございます。Go FE。
ありがとうございました。
You've got to love the attitude there of Aaron Henry. They won the ball game, but you can see he says, we want to make the playoffs, and the way we play today, we are not a playoff team. Going back to the interview of their head coach, Taizo Kawabe, plain and simply put, he just said, we focus on defense more than anything else, and we try to keep it close. And in the end, we got the game and the win. As we enjoy the highlights here. First basket did go to the Alphas. But then after that, they trailed almost the entire ball game. Sadohara there with a big slam. Sadohara contributed greatly with 18 points He had 1 rebound and 3 assists, but he was also the primary defender on the imports. Look at this ball movement. Eventually ends up with Namizato as he hits that 3. Perfect quarterback in there from Narito. And then their designated gunner, Yasuoka. Tim Suarez would score. Wasn't a big contributor today. He missed on a lot of open threes, which he normally makes. Nice basket inside from Cheng. Challenging the defense there of Kai Soto. Again, another one of those live turnovers, which were converted on fast break opportunities. Namizato didn't really have to do too much in the first half. There's Kai Soto with a lucky shot. That was his only points actually in the first half. He would finish with 3. First quarter ended in favor of Nagoya, 25-18. And at the half, it was a 12-point lead at 53-41. Another nice pocket pass. But you see, you love the action there of Cheng sticking with it. And then Sadohara finishing strong on the break. So teams would change ends. Olujobi with his first basket. Actually, his first points in the B.LEAGUE with that 3. Kai Soto wanted to slam that one through, but in the end, still got 2 points. That's why he had a sheepish smile. Peak for 3. It was back and forth in the third, but still, after 3 quarters, it was a comfortable 12-point lead by Nagoya at 77-65. That was a big 3-pointer with 0.4 remaining. And then another one of those live turnovers, turned over and converted for easy points. Gibbs came up big, especially in the last 3 minutes. Soto will drain this too. Kai Soto would finish with great numbers. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. But unfortunately, it'll be in a loss. Gibbs again. And then he gets another 2 points. Nice entry pass. Kai Soto converts. And that slam dunk got the crowd on their feet. That tied things up. And then coming up with a huge 3 once again was Aaron Henry. Sadohara quieted the crowd there with that big shot. And eventually they would win by 5, 95-90. And that really silenced the crowd here at the Koshigaya City Gym. As we look at the numbers, from 2-point distance, just about even. From 3-point distance already, just about even. And the Koshigaya Alphas actually made their run here with their free throws. They had 9 more free throws, 20 as compared to 11. But again, just too many turnovers. 22 turnovers. And Nagoya took well advantage of that. 30-15, you can see. Those are the points of turnovers. Plus 15 will really kill you. Looking at the rebounding situation, the Alphas lorded it over on the boards 41-24. Something that Nagoya needs to be able to take a look at for tomorrow's encounter. So despite the fact that they won, there are still some areas they need to clean up. In terms of assists, just +1 for Nagoya, 19-18. So the big game plan for the Alphas tomorrow is they need to be able to make sure that they limit their turnovers. They only lost by 5, but just too many turnovers cost them the ball game. Leading scorers, leading rebounders, and leading assist men. 22 points there for Jeff Gibbs, 35 points for Henry. Henry also had 8 rebounds. Kai Soto with 9 boards. Gibbs with 4 assists. And the high assist man for Nagoya is Namisato with 6. That's going to do it for our coverage. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Till next time, which is actually tomorrow. Join us again at 2 in the afternoon. Have a good rest of the Saturday. Take care. God bless.